Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I'll Watch It Later podcast. I'm your host, Scott, and producer. Let's talk about my top 10.
Keep this in. 3, 2.
Are you sure?
1.
Are you sure? No.
You're just wasting time. We counted you down.
Oh, really? Professionals will take cues. Let's go.
And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
The I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You ever heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. As always, I am Aaron, joined by my incredibly late, I don't care about your time, co-host, best friend, Jordan.
What he likes to not mention is that I'm late because I picked up another snack.
It doesn't
snack
matter.
I'm
you
doing
came
work.
up with the time. You
work.
are the one that came up with the time.
Doing work.
And
Anyway,
my best friend, producer, brother-in-law, and just fucking thorn in my side. God, Scott.
It's me.
It's a good start.
It's a
Got
good
2
start.
shows to
Very
do
good
today,
start,
and
yes.
this is the first one.
Yeah, it's a very good start.
Can't wait.
I'm the problem. It's me. But it's you.
I have no problems.
Pointing at yourself.
It's you.
Because he was raging about you being late.
I
and I'm
was
like,
not
I go,
raging.
here's
No, I
I go,
wasn't.
it's
Stop
fine.
it.
It's fine. Just breathe. It'll be okay.
No,
we'll get the
said
show done.
We have something that maybe we have to do at 2 p.m. today. And I said, he chose this time. And now I can't be
and
late
I said,
to this thing.
it'll all be good.
We'll be fine.
It's all
So-
gravy, baby.
Plenty of time.
Anyways, don't lie. I wasn't raging that he was late. I was
He is
raging.
I could
that-
see his blood pressure. You know when the cartoons, when it shows like the red line going
isn't
up
true.
until
None of
it
this
hits
is
their
true.
ears when it blows out their ears
None
like
of
a
this
fucking
is true. I
freight
just
horn.
said, oh, I can't
He
believe
need-
he's
he needs
this
to
late.
wear-
I made a comment about it, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm angry. It was
Aaron
like, damn
never
it.
says, "Hey, I can't believe he's this late." It's, "What the fuck? Why is he not fucking here?"
Well, and here's the thing. I had the respect for the show to say, hey, I left a little late. I am going to stop by
He
a
did say
store to pick up something for our show.
I have the respect. of being super
I could have
late.
just showed up late,
I
or
don't care that you're late. My problem is that you created the time. You are like, we'll do it at 10. Okay. Like,
yeah. And then I went to a movie with my best friend last night, and I was
I know,
tired.
your brother was sitting right next to you.
Yeah, he was right there.
I was gonna say I didn't go. What are you talking
I
about?
got the Aaron. Yeah, where was Scott?
You had Aaron sandwich.
I had an Aaron sandwich.
That's right. You want to talk about that now, or you want to talk about that on another show? You just
It's
want to get
it's
it out
up
of
to
the
you.
way.
It,
This
I mean,
is the
fresh
movie
in our
show.
heads.
I know, but
I feel like by the time we record the next one,
If you
want
wanna-
old news, I
if
don't
you
know.
want to know, go see Megan. It's fucking super fun. It's a fun fucking movie. It knows exactly what it is. It embraces that. It isn't like Malignant that just is a pile of steaming shit. This is kind of a pile of steaming shit, but it knows it's a pile of steaming shit, and it's hilarious. It's unintentionally hilarious, and I loved every second of that.
It starts off hilarious. It starts off with a commercial that made me laugh within the first 3 seconds of this movie.
Because the dog dies.
So there's
So many dogs die
So
in
it's
this
about
movie.
God, I don't know.
Why not
it's,
cats?
It's about a toy company that makes these toys, and that's what ends up being. They make Megan and stuff like that. But the toy company does a commercial at the beginning of this movie. It's literally how the movie starts, and it's a toy commercial for their Furbies, basically, and it's like their interactive pets, and it does all this shit. But it literally starts off with a song about a little girl getting a dog, but the dog eventually is gonna die, and then now she's alone, and it's. I need to find the song and I need to find the lyrics because it's fucking hilarious. The second it happened, we're all laughing, and I'm like, well, I'm already in 100% on
So
this
they're
movie.
saying that the dog is eventually going to die, so you need to buy one of our dogs that don't die.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what
And
it is?
that's
Okay.
kind of the premise is like, hey, now you got to buy this virtual pet that'll never die, and it'll always, interact and improve and
You have
stuff
to
like that.
feed it every day.
You do. You have to feed it virtually, and it
It's on a
actually
keychain.
it actually shits. I mean, it's
weird,
It's
like,
fucking
it's-
hilarious.
There were a lot of fart jokes in the first hour of this movie, so
Yeah.
Scott would have fucking given a 10 out of 10.
Oh, he would have been rolling in the aisles.
I can hear him now. Oh, Scott would love this fucking movie.
That's exactly what I said. The second there were all the farts, I was like,
Scott would
this
enjoy
is a
this.
Scott movie.
I mean, come on.
But it is.
Everybody loves a good fart
It
joke.
knows what it is. It's if you're going into this because it's saying it's billed as a horror movie. It is not. It's not scary. It's a very tame version of like a Child's Play, because they don't really show a lot. They've given it the PG-13 shine, and you see a lot in the trailers, which kind of sucks, but it's also still does well for just making you enjoy little things as it goes. The doll is creepy from start to finish. That doll is still just off-putting, and I think it's because she looks kind of realish, but not. And it's very awkward, but I enjoyed it. Like, I had fun watching it. Is it the greatest movie in the world? No.
No.
But Aaron said it. He's like, this is my favorite movie of the year so far. It's fucking January 6th. So, I mean,
first movie.
It's all downhill from
Day
here.
that will live in infamy.
But it was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, it was. I had a lot of fun. I gave it a 4 because it was just it knew exactly. Well, it knew what it was going to be. That doesn't necessarily just be. I base movie ratings on whether or not the movie is aware of itself.
That's how I am.
And
if it's fun, I mean, it gets a good rating.
Like, apparently, a ton of stuff was cut from this, and it made it better. I read an interview with the director. Was like, "Oh, we have to cut away from that, and that somehow makes it worse." I don't know what he was talking about. Maybe the kid getting hit by the car.
Oh my god!
But
some kid get just railed by
it's
a
just
fucking
funny
Ford
because all the deaths in it are just so predictable, and it's just, I don't know. But and like I said earlier, they use the song Titanium as a lullaby song, and it's just fucking. I'm dying laughing. Like,
oh yeah, and then at one point, Megan, toward the end of the movie, she's already gone off the rails. She's sitting in the middle of like the living room playing a small piano, and she's playing "Toy Soldiers" by Eminem.
Like Linus from fucking
so
Peanuts.
you said that, and then I recognized the song, but that was a song before
I understand,
Eminem,
but it
so
makes
it's
more
probably
sense.
the original.
Toy Soldiers. She's Megan. It makes more sense to be more contemporary. I understand that music was sampled, but
Okay.
I think this was more.
That's why I was going to say something to you last night. I forgot, but I was like, that was a
Toy Soldiers. Like
Step by
Martinka
step.
or Martina or what was her name?
step by step.
I have to look it up.
Heart
I know.
to
I know.
heart.
I'm close.
Well, I'm never gonna do that again.
Right.
But yes,
Make
but
sure
it
you
was just
clip
fun.
that when you clip in shit for the show.
Yeah, it's gonna be
he doesn't
the
do
new
that.
intro.
So, anyways, as they all
Martika. I was right.
as they all
I
say,
said Martinka.
just some
Close enough.
programming notes at the top of the show. Once again, if you're new here, welcome. This is
A shit show.
not a real show.
Starts off that way.
And what that means is 2 years in a row now, 2 years running, Jordan has hurt himself or done something in order to get out of the top 10 show by the end of the year. So we have to
Probably
make
need
it
to see a
up on the
therapist
back
for that.
end. So this is not this is a real show. This is a show we do that this is just our top 10 of 2022. And you're like, what? It's January 7th. Like, what's your problem? It indulges my ego. I enjoy these shows. We get to talk about everything we saw throughout the year. I didn't do as well as I wanted to last year. I had a baby and got a fucking promotion and stuff. I only was able to see 165 movies last year. It hurt my soul.
What a bummer.
Didn't fucking stop him.
Isn't it the only reason we do the show is to indulge his ego?
I think we need to go back to the part in August when that baby was being born, where he was like, "Well, if you're already going to be in the hospital, I'm going to go see Clerks 3." I mean, trust me, there was a
But it
whole.
didn't
It didn't. No.
That is to summarize.
No, we ended up pushing it back a week, and we all went and saw Clerks 3.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Which
the
made it
baby
a much
thing-
better experience.
He makes the baby thing sound like it was going to stop him from doing it.
No, but I spent 4 days. There's nights. What I mean, not having the baby stopped me from watching movies because I literally watched the Last Picture Show in the hospital. But what I'm saying is, like, there'd be nights where I just didn't get any sleep. So instead of watching a movie, I went to bed. Whereas most of the time, I would watch a
like
movie.
a human being.
I just
Yeah.
picture it's like an action movie. Aaron's just leaping over toddlers and he's just pushing their heads out of the way to get to the movie
Heisman
theater.
Trophy, stiff arm.
One hand with a remote, the other hand
Daddy,
with the baby.
come save the cat out of the tree. Get out of the way.
So
I've already saved this cat for 50 times.
So anyways, so this is the year-end countdown, top 10 of 2022. And the reason it's funny is usually Jordan and I are lockstep on these things. Then there's Scott,
there's
and
me.
he's like,
I think our lists are going to be different. this
I
time
watched Gomer Pyle movie, and it was the best.
around. How was that? Was that good?
I don't know.
I already told Aaron. I go, you're gonna
Who's
rage.
Ray? Who's
Well,
Ray?
I said Aaron and rage in the same sentence.
Who's
I was
Ray?
like, you're gonna rage at my top 10. He's like, no, man, it's your top 10, dude. I'm like, okay, we'll see.
It's fine. You can like whatever you want to like. I'm not going to judge you.
We'll see.
I don't want to spend too much time on what I'm about to talk about, which is the worst movies of 2022.
Go for it.
I have a top 10 list of worst films of 2022. Now,
Did it feel weird writing Morbius 10 times?
no, it's actually the highest on the list.
I was gonna say
There were worse.
Halloween Ends.
There were worse. Yeah, it's on the list.
that almost made my top 10.
Of best.
Yep. Almost.
I would have
What
quit
is
the show.
wrong with
I would
you?
have quit. I would have
you
quit
can,
the
you
show.
can quit the show all you
That's-
want.
I know I
for,
can.
For the craziness that movie caused
you're-
in the
no,
history
it's-
of things.
Did you do a deep dive in this movie? Is that why all of a sudden
love
you're
this movie.
reconsidering?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, now all of a
I was
sudden
the
he
one.
loves it.
I was the one that was into it more than you guys anyway. So
Jesus
you
Christ.
can't quit the show.
I want to say the words Halloween Ends is in my top 10 and see what
I'll
happens.
switch my list right now.
Jesus Christ.
Call your bluff.
I'm not bluffing. Anyways, all right. So let's just.
Everybody
I
welcome
just want to
Ray
get
Jared.
this out of the way. We can talk a little bit about each thing. Number 10, worst film of 2022, Morbius. Clearly, what makes it horrible is if you've seen the movie. Jordan tries to do this thing where he's like, I look for the good in all movies. So he's like, it's not that bad. It's
No, Morbius
bad.
sucked. What are you talking about?
I'm almost positive you sent me it's fine.
No.
It's fine.
No, it's terrible.
What the funniest thing and the reason it makes this list is because not only is it a terrible fucking film, they thought that because it was memed so hard, they put it back in the theaters just for it to
it
bomb a
failed
second
twice.
time. The first movie ever to bomb twice in the theaters.
It got moved like 6 times. I mean, there was nothing good about this.
Piece of shit Jared Leto film, and I like Jared Leto, so don't come at me for that. But yeah, Morbius, you can suck a fat one. Number 9 would be The Munsters. We all watched it. It was.
Scott
looked-
was the only one that liked it
It
more
was.
than we did.
I know it was a little.
I just said that visually it was a very
Maybe Scott's the one
nice
that finds
movie
the
to
good
watch.
in everything. What are you talking
It was
about?
not a good movie by any means.
It was really
It
pretty.
was fun to look at.
It was fun to look at. It felt like a monsters movie, and that's where
Which
it
was
ends.
just
And
way
there's no
too
reason.
long.
There's no reason for it to be viewed by anyone. Somehow, it found its way onto my shelf.
weird.
I think what happened, and this is to be
But
completely
I went to the
honest,
store and purchased.
No.
What happened is like, I
order-
accidentally
I
ordered it in my
order
sleep.
things on Amazon, and I forget to cancel them. And instead of my lazy ass sending it back, I'm just like, whatever. So I think that's why. So yeah, okay,
Yeah, it sounds legit.
it is legit. Number 8
Two bags of pretzels.
is well, you can sit this one out, Jordan. Halloween Ends. What a fucking piece of shit that film was.
I am in agreement with you.
Let's high five.
High five.
All right. So have a Halloween movie without fucking Michael Myers or having him take a buddy cop.
Buddy,
Fucking just
ambiguously gay duo.
every single character in that film did not act like themselves for the last 70 years, 40 years, whatever the fuck it is. It's a hard watch. It deserves to never be viewed by anyone again, except for by Jordan, who loved it enough to almost put it on his top
I
10.
watched it twice.
Good for
I
you.
need to go get the steelbook.
Well, get it because there's plenty copies.
I think you could probably wait that one out. It'll still be available.
So yeah, fuck that movie, and fuck you if you liked it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre at number 7, that remake on Netflix.
That was bad.
That was, as I like to call it, Halloween Ends 2, because it was the same concept. Let's make a terrible fucking movie. Make the main guy in a world of today with cell phones and technology. Make all the characters who you want to survive the most unlikable teens in the planet, and then have an ending where you're just left like, what the fuck did I just watch? If you watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 2022 and liked it, come at me, bro, because we need to have a serious conversation.
No, he'll just cancel the show on you.
Just you. Are you mad? Let's talk about it. Okay.
really.
Not really? So a little bit?
Just a little.
Well, talk about it.
All right, let's get through these terrible movies.
All right. So,
Keep
Number
everybody on
6.
track.
We have 30 movies to talk about in a minute.
number 6 is Firestarter.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I wanted to like this so bad. I like Zac Efron so much. And just, nope. I don't know how.
that
they
Doritos dip has more acting range.
You're
than
not
he
a
did in this movie.
fire starter.
Well, the thing that's upsetting about it is it had so much potential. They had a movie to already work with, which wasn't great, but it was okay.
It was okay.
And they just couldn't pull it off. And I don't think it was Efron's fault. I actually like him, but it was just, oh man, was it bad. Okay, so that was this counted down to 19 instead of, and I couldn't change the numbers without fucking up the whole thing.
Yeah, 1969,
10,
1970, we get it.
Yeah, numbers.
So number 5, Jurassic Park Dominion. We all
Yeah.
saw it in the theaters.
Hot garbage.
Oh my god.
Kim asked me the other night because it was on the screen for like. She's like, "Have you seen this? Is it any good?" And I'm like,
No.
"Don't even press fucking play
It's so
on that.
bad.
It's
The
a
first
pile
half-
of steaming shit."
First half is a Bourne movie. The second half is fucking the third Jurassic Park, and it was just the worst.
which
man.
wasn't even good.
No, and that's why it sucked.
I'm not sure if you've seen.
It's disappointing.
All of us have seen the next movie, number 4, but I'm not sure if you guys have seen my top 2 worst
get to
films.
it.
Wow, just get to it. Come on. Oh, wow,
Some of us were late. We got to make up some time.
Jesus Christ.
Trying to save
The
some
next
minutes.
one was Black Adam.
Yeah.
That's that. That's at 4.
Yeah,
That should be higher.
well, I got 3 that are so bad that
I can't believe 3 other movies beat out Black Adam for the worst.
Black Adam deserves none of your attention. Stop giving it money.
I think they did.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, there's no money going to Black Adam.
Well, that's why DC's
just-
like,
we-
Hold on. Look at his shelf. Wait, where's Black Adam?
It's
on
not
it?
on here.
You didn't get it on there yet?
not yet.
Uh,
But
we-
wait, there's time.
I haven't ordered it yet, so I don't know.
I thought you already ordered it.
No, I
You spent the whole last show saying that you have to do it.
I know, and then I listened back to the show, and I was like, do I though?
We found a Black Adam action figure in the discount aisle at fucking Walmart
And it was still
yesterday.
too expensive.
And it
was like
wasn't even The
six-
Rock. It was like some weird fucking.
It was the
It was
original.
the
original
the
Black
kid's
Adam, yeah.
skateboard.
It was like, we can't even get this one away.
So I'm not sure if you guys watched this. If you didn't, don't. This is a Netflix show or Netflix movie, I should say. Terrible. Choose or Die. It was unwatchable
You
garbage.
told me about it, and I avoided
and
it because of it.
it was really bad.
I heard it was not
and
good.
I wanted it to. It was another one of those like I want it to be good. It had all the elements of things that I love. Where it was like, ooh, you're a computer hacker, and ooh, you can watch people's deaths, but you can't stop it. And it's just like you think that the concept is okay. That sounds intriguing. No, wrong actress, wrong everything. It was shit. Number 2. You guys ready for this one?
Okay.
Call me racist.
Give it
You
to
ready?
me.
Oh, yeah, emancipation.
Yep, Emancipation with Will
Well,
Smith. I don't know
Not
what.
hearing a lot of good stuff about the movie, though.
No, the movie's terrible.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not hearing a lot of stuff about the movie. I hear
Oh.
everybody talking about, oh, Will Smith is fucking. He could get awards for his acting, but
no
can't.
way.
He's not allowed.
really.
That's right.
He has been banned.
Emancipation is terrible. There is one good gleam in there, and that's Ben Foster. Which I mean, people are like, yeah, Whitey. Of course, you love the Whitey, but no, he's really good in it. And Will Smith is. I don't know, phoning it in.
He's like, I just happen
At
to
one
gravitate towards
point,
the
it's
white
a
people.
slave escaping, and then the next half of the movie, he's like, join the army. Dude, let me just tell you, it's a
We all
hot
saw
mess.
Glory. We're good.
It's terrible, and
I guess
we
say
get
something
it.
about him fighting alligators or some shit.
Racism.
Was that?
If I would have saw Soft and Quiet before this show, before 2023, it would have been on my list. And I don't know
Of
what.
worst movies?
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
this is the one you told me to go watch because it was fantastic.
Dude, he did it to both of us. He's
You
like,
were-
you got to watch this movie. And then 10 minutes later, never
trying
mind.
to
Don't
fucking
do
red
that.
herring us into the goddamn.
I didn't know it was bad. TikTok won't shut up about it, so I was
Here we
like,
go.
Are you giving us
Here we go.
recommendations to watch things based
No.
off TikTok?
So the first 10 minutes of it is good. The rest of the movie is really bad.
I mean, food wise, there's going to be something there, but TikTok and movies probably just don't mix.
That's so weird.
And then the worst movie of 2022, in my personal opinion, if you like this movie, I don't know what's wrong with you. I honestly, let's have a conversation about it. The Fall. The Fall was so fucking bad, and so frustrating to watch. And all I see is praise on the internet. No, it's about 2 girls who climb up the thing, and then one of them has a Fight Club moment. It literally
Cliffhanger without the cliff.
literally one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and the fact that it's getting praised at all is because people are like, I'm scared of heights. Like, okay, well, I'm scared of guns, but that doesn't make me afraid to watch an action film. That's a bad example.
Like,
but-
Heat is a terrible movie.
right. So
shooting.
those are the worst films of 2022. I just wanted to get those out of the way as I don't know, opening act, and now we can get into the top 10 if you want.
I'm already tired. Who cares? I'm just kidding.
Are you okay? Are you mad about
Why
the whole?
would I be mad?
Any of those
I
match?
think you're mad
I
about
Any
don't
of those
take,
match
I don't
your
take,
honorable
I
mention
don't
worst films?
take this as serious as you like. I'm not going to be upset that you pick Halloween Ends. Who cares? Each opinion is different. That's the purpose of a top 10. It's not. This is not the definitive. It has to be this, and everybody else is dumb. No, this is what you didn't like. That's know, and I agree with all of it. I mean, Halloween Ends, although would have probably been close to making my top 10 for the conversation, the what it did, and how it's being
I feel
received.
like that's a biased opinion.
It's my opinion. That's the point
His
of
top
it.
10. Yeah. I mean,
You know, that's the point. It is my opinion. Your opinion is different.
Probably
Scott's opinion doesn't matter.
like I said, I'm going to get a
I'm
lot of
just
eye rolls.
saying-
On my
You're not
fucking top.
wrong.
I'm going to get a lot of eye rolls on my top 10.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not mad that you didn't like it. Fuck it. I don't care if you like the movies I like. I like when we're on the same page, but I'm also not going to give you shit. I will give you shit for picking movies from 1969
We're
for the
doing a 70s
1970s
show.
Am I
month,
ever
but-
going to live that now?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So
Anyway.
because yours is so crazy,
Yeah,
Scott,
let's start with Scott.
Yeah, we'll start
you
with
want me to
yours.
start?
And I'm cheating for my 10, so
Picked 11.
I picked 2 films for my top 10.
Yeah. I mean, I do have some honorable
You'll
mentions and
understand.
maybe.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Hold on, just let him
Okay.
go.
All right.
Let him
I'll
go. I
save
have
the
honorable
yelling.
mentions.
I have
too. You
honorable
can-
mentions, but I'm going to start with my top 10.
Yeah,
So
honorable mentions are at the
My
end.
number 10 movie.
Jordan
is-
tried to explain what honorable mentions were to me last night. Like, yeah, I fucking know what they
Well,
are.
you asked the question, and I'm
I
sitting there
just
going,
put
are
a
you,
question mark because what I meant that meant what are they?
then write what are they?
Okay.
No,
Anyways,
it'd be in 17 sentences, 17 texts.
yeah, because there's 17 different honorable
When I got the
mentions.
last word at 2 a.m.
Go ahead.
Oh, so my number 10, and this is starting off with a banger. My number 10 is A Christmas Story Christmas. Because, you know what? This was something that I needed for this holiday. We're coming back to the original cast. Dude, I teared up with the old man when they brought the presents out and they were from him, dude. It was a feel-good movie that I figured just needed to be in my top 10.
So remember, everyone, he's
See? This is what I'm saying,
No,
right here.
I'm not judging. He's the everyman. I
Yes.
wouldn't even thought to put that in my top 10.
No,
That was a-
because
It
I
wa-
had
it didn't
so
even
much fun.
grace-
I had so much fun watching this movie that I think it deserves more credit
okay.
than
I
what it
forg-
probably got.
I
mean,
forgot
it's-
about this movie. This was like 3-4 weeks ago. I forgot about it so much. It didn't make
Yes.
my worst or best list. Like,
It
I just didn't
make my
even
worst or
remember it.
best list either. Not everything has to be the worst or the
Yeah,
best.
for me,
I
it
know,
was
it's
a lot of
just
stuff
a,
is serviceable.
it was a fun movie. They're doing this thing now where it's like 20 years later, we're bringing all the original cast back to do these movies.
Did you make a list on your letterbox?
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Thank God, man. That's cool.
Where
I
else
didn't
am I going to
even-
make a fucking
Oh,
list?
I just did my notes. I didn't
Yeah, I was
even
gonna
do
say,
it.
I
I don't
just-
make lists on my letterbox because if people
Yep.
comment
Whoop.
on them, oh,
I can't show it.
I make notes.
go ahead.
So I knew nobody would pick that one, obviously. And I could just hear the listeners being like, what the fuck is this guy's problem? A Christmas Story Christmas?
The listener. I'm just kidding. That's fine, man. Cool. I'm glad you liked it that much. I'm glad that it had that much.
If a movie moves me to an emotion where I tear
I
up,
know because you don't have many
It's
of
like
those.
that Indian that when you throw like
I
garbage on the
tell-
side of the road, there's that one tear.
The
He's watching
one
Christmas Story
tear.
Christmas. There's like one tear rolling down his cheek.
I did tell you earlier you're not the authority on anything because when it
Yes.
comes to emotion, because he's just like I don't care. I don't care if anything ever happens bad. Just live in the. I'm Joe Dirt. So, anyways, what's your 10?
keep on keeping
How-
on.
All right. At number 10, I struggle because top 10s are hard. Like,
Yes.
there's so much. I have so much honorable mentions, things that I actually really enjoyed. But to make my top 10, it had to be something that I really thought was outside of, maybe the actors, repertoire that I haven't seen them do before. And I went with number 10, Emily the Criminal.
That's a great fucking movie.
It's a great movie. It's basically
It should have probably been on my top 10.
So
It's
not a
definitely
Christmas Story Christmas.
no,
Okay.
definitely
Just
not.
being clear.
An honorable mention. I loved that movie.
Right, and Aubrey Plaza, it was amazing in this movie. And it was weird because you usually think of her as like, she's the funny one, she's the weird one. I mean, she's literally like Wednesday, the character persona. Like, she's just that odd person. And to see her in this role was such a, I hate using this, but a breath of fresh air. It was so good to see her do this.
Deep dive.
And it was, I highly enjoyed it. And, I totally recommend people checking it out. And, it was just really good. And I debated putting it on my top 10, and I realized I actually really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought.
No,
And
I
so
agree.
got it
I
there.
completely agree. Emily the Criminal's you should watch it, dude. It's on Netflix now. I had to go hunting it down.
Yeah, that was a hard one to find when it first came out.
But I watched it and I was like, whoa, this is really fucking good, especially for what it is. It's so simple yet so effective, and everybody in it's very good. The story is very good. I completely agree with that. That is a good number 10.
Yeah, it's Aubrey Plaza, Theo Rossi,
The guy from Sons of Anarchy, if anybody.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really good. Let's check it out.
So, okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, you guys
Drum roll, please.
shit on me.
Morbius.
So
Halloween ends.
it was very easy to make this list, but I knew I needed both of these movies somewhere, but I didn't think either of them were higher, and I didn't want to put one on and leave one off. So yes, this is a two-banger for a top 10, okay? Because they both fit and they're the same category. They're the same everything. X and Pearl. Fucking that
I give that one to you.
I'm gonna give it to you.
so I
X
put
gonna give it.
It's
To
about as solid as a fucking Twizzler, but I'll give it to you.
But honestly, both movies so tonally different, yet so like great in their own way. I love Pearl. I know you guys weren't as fond of it as X, but I think Pearl's a better film, and I think X is such a good horror movie to release in this day and age with like the 70s motif and the porn background, and it has all the people you love in it. It has Mia Goth, it has your Wednesday Addams, she's in it, and then Pearl, just the acting alone in that movie is fucking incredible. It had to make my top 10. Those are two of my favorite movies last year that I will definitely keep revisiting for years to come.
Those two made my honorable mention, only because I just didn't want to load my top 10 list with a bunch of horror.
Right.
2022 was huge for horror movies.
Yes.
Lots of good stuff, and I've got a few on my list, and I didn't want to put X without putting Pearl on there. I feel you're right. They're a companion piece.
Yeah.
It's a bigger story. It's just
And
told
that-
in two parts, and Pearl for me fell short for most of it. The monologue was fantastic. The ending was kind of cool. I don't feel like it gave me everything that I wanted, but I thought it was a beautifully shot movie. X, I think, for me was superior. But you're right. I want to give you shit so bad.
I know.
That is a good way to use the two.
So that's the only one like that. And Maxine or whatever comes out this year, and maybe it will make the list, maybe it won't. But I think even without that movie, you can watch these two movies paired together. Always have to be a double feature, in my opinion. Just the bright lights and just the glamour of Pearl mixed with the darkness and the dark tone of X. I don't know, man. It just, to me, is some of the best horror I've seen in years. Made me love horror again because it wasn't tropish, and that is the best way to win me over when it comes to horror. So
And I found it weird that they both came out the same year, and it just feels like last year was so long as far as movies.
you're
You
not
know what I
wrong.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I'm
was
hoping for
crazy.
another year like that because we had a lot of fun last year. So, all right, Scott,
Number 9.
give
Well,
it to
I
us.
think that's a good segue into my number 9.
8-bit Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Yes.
all Christmas
X.
movies.
Halloween. No.
I will quit the show.
I'm gonna die for that.
And this is kind of the same way. So my number 9 is kind of the same way that you feel about these movies. I think this movie was a ton of fucking fun. I think it brought back kind of like what I enjoy in horror films
He's like Sallow, 120 days.
is Terrifier 2.
I can't. Just because I was not into it as much, I can't fault you for that. That movie
Same.
it was-
I know everybody
is everywhere.
fucking loves
Everyone
it.
is
And
praising that like
it's
crazy.
just I'm into the slasher flicks. I'm into more of like, hey, there's an iconic figure that you can reuse over and over and over again. This is kind of pushing into that new genre of the Michael Myers, the Freddy Krueger, the Jason. It's a iconic head of a horror franchise, and they're probably going to run this fucking shit into the ground. But you know what?
Well,
Well, yeah,
I-
they made
so.
money. So
I
that's how it
enjoyed the
works.
living shit out of this movie, and it was the first time I felt in a long time that I had fun watching a horror movie.
That's fine. Yeah, I hated it clearly, but it didn't make my worst 10 list. It's just not for me, man. And I think the horror that I'm looking for is more the X Pearl, even to an extent like the Megan stuff. But It's just
See,
not
it's weird 'cause I just
it's-
don't feel like those are horror to me.
And that's my problem. Is I need that in between. I don't
Yeah.
need Terrifier 2. I don't need to be sit there and assaulted 100 times with the grossest of gross. Like the Cabin Fevers and all those movies.
Right.
But I don't necessarily need Megan either. Like I want
Right.
kind of that in between. I want to be scared. I want to be freaked out. That's why I think Evil Dead Rise looks good.
Yeah,
It's
it
going to
looks
give me
awesome.
enough of the what the fuck is down that hallway feel with
Yeah.
also the gross shit that should be in a good horror movie. And I think that's what I'm looking
That's
for.
what I'm-
It's kind of an in between.
And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like I don't think Megan or X or Pearl are the pinnacle of fucking horror. I just think I prefer more of traditional than over the top, and that's
Nosferatu.
over the top. And
I just-
it's just
I
not
think
for me, man. And
amongst-
that's cool that you like it.
Amongst all the over the topness, I think there is a good baseline to this franchise with with Art the Clown and all that stuff. I think if you look past the extreme violence that they do in this movie,
fucking hilarious.
it's actually quite funny. It's
Dude,
a
I talk about the mashed
funny-ass
potato
movie.
scene constantly to people. I'm like, if anything, watch this movie for this one scene where the woman's face is completely off. He walks in with a plate of potatoes, takes a
his little
handful and just
apron.
mashes it into her fucking cavity. I laugh at that shit because it's so over the top. I
Yeah,
don't
it's just
find it like I hate. I'm going back to this again, but Evil Dead Rise, like there are things in the trailer that I sit there and I go, oh god, I'm cringing about. I didn't cringe about anything about Terrifier 2. I thought it was funny. And maybe that's a problem for me. But, it's like...
I thought the same thing.
The violence got to a point where it's comical, then it just doesn't become horror to me. And I just was like, whatever, it's cool. He's, melting chick with acid and putting salt in it. And it just becomes like, okay, are you done? Kill this person. Like, go to the next one.
Right.
So
what is your number 9? Number 9.
Number 9. I gotta bring my list up.
Number 9,
I-
feeling fine.
After this is over, can I just record a bunch of me saying numbers and you can put them in before?
It'll
everything?
never happen. Why
I
are you
know,
even asking?
I know.
That's a lot of extra work. So
2 shows to do.
Number 7.
Now, my number 9,
One today, one tomorrow.
it should have been a little higher, I think, but I think my top 10 is just one lump for me, I think. There's no... All these movies I love equally for different reasons.
Okay.
My number 9 is Clerks 3.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
I know. And because there was just so much good.
I'm excited about how different our lists are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Clerks
It's
3...
going to be different.
It was such a great way to end that trilogy. It made me sad. It made me happy. It's such a good movie. Like,
Yeah, it's so good.
and to be the third in a trilogy, you say what you want. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was okay.
Yeah, it was
and then the newest, the Roadshow one, whatever they did.
Clerks is the grassroots, man.
Clerks was perfect. And
yeah.
and in a way that actually made me upset that it was that perfect because of what happened in the movie. So it's like, okay, I like it.
We never thought we were
I don't know
gonna
if
get
it needs to be top 5 for me, but it's definitely, out of all the... I mean, there was tons of shit for 2022. To be on a top 10, it's pretty high up, especially for
We
that
never
movie.
thought we were going to get a Clerks 2, let alone a Clerks 3. And the
Right.
fact that Kevin Smith is like realizing, hey, I almost died, and these people who I care about are dying, and this is, these are the type of
We're all
things
getting
you need.
older, man.
Yeah, you need to think about instead of fart jokes and comic books your whole life. It's pretty grown up. I think Kevin Smith as a director has grown up. I get why everyone doesn't like him and all that stuff, but
Because
I
everyone's
just
holding on to what they saw
Right.
originally. They want Mallrats, they want Clerks.
exactly. So
And-
I completely agree with you. It did not make my top 10, but it's definitely an honorable mention, and it definitely goes in the pantheon of fucking good comedy. Like if I watch, I do this with Back to the Future. If I watch Back to the Future 1, I have to watch the other 2. They're like within the
Yeah.
next few days. There is no matter what, even if it's just on in the background. If I put on Clerks 1, I have to watch Clerks 2, and now I know I'll have to watch Clerks 3 because it's like, oh, I can't just live in a world where they still exist and that I haven't visited them. So
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, my experience wasn't the best in the theater, but I've watched it at least 2 more times after that. That fucking asshole. But to me, now that adds to my experience. Like, as much as I hated that guy,
Yeah.
I have a story to tell about
I
Clerks
hope it
3.
happens
I
many more
enjoyed-
times this year.
It will.
Oh, it will.
It's going
I'm
to.
sure it will.
But yes, that is my number 9.
You know, you don't get that experience. in your house.
By
You
yourself.
pirate movies.
Stop it.
In the bathroom on your cell phone.
My number 9 is you guys haven't even seen, so I'll just talk about it a little bit. It's Babylon.
The hell you say? I'm just gonna go ahead.
Babylon is fucking awesome. Now, I probably the only human being on the planet with Babylon in their top 10, or probably that liked
No,
it, I guess.
I looked up some top 10s online, and
Did you
people
really?
were adding Babylon in there.
So,
It's getting award nominations.
Oh, I knew
it's
that.
BAFTA stuff. Like, trust me, it's
so
better than
went-
the scores.
I went in, I went in thinking it was going to be shit, and I wound up having one of the best times
that was the
of my
first
life.
10 minutes, right?
Well, no, yeah, there was elephant shit in the first 10 minutes, but I thought I honestly just I was just trying to kill 3 hours. I wanted to get out of the house, and
He had a kid this year, by the way.
2.
He's
I
like,
have
these
2
kids are driving me
children.
nuts.
I need to get
Kim's like, I'm
fucking-
still working. He's like, I gotta go to the movies.
I gotta get out of here.
Something like that.
Kids will be fine.
This wasn't what I thought it was going to be. The cinematography and direction of this film is incredible. There's a young man in this film. I gotta look it up.
Brad Pitt.
No, he's great in it, and
And that's why it was also Babylon and Bullet Train are my top 9.
Bullet Train will make Scott's. It will not make mine. God, what is his name? It is. Oh, and I like that they promoted
Chalamet.
Tobey Maguire, and he's in it for maybe 15 minutes.
He looks like he would be.
Diego Calva.
Is he the main guy?
He's the
one you see in
main
trailer? Okay.
Hispanic actor in it.
I'd never seen him before. I don't think.
No, me neither. And he kills it. Margot Robbie kills it, and I'm kind of annoyed with her and everything now, but she's really good. She plays like this, what's it called?
Flapper?
Hippie. I know I'm flapping around. This hippie
his right
who
and left
comes,
arms.
who's just like, I'm going to be a star, and it's all about from when movies transition from silent to talkies, which is what they are now. And
I feel like
How-
this is
Still
a-
call
I
him
feel like
that.
this is a repeat though, because when you say in this movie she like goes to the theater to watch her own movie and stuff, and I'm like, where have we seen this before?
Yeah, but
With the same character.
it goes completely other way. And there's some really good set pieces. There's a whole set piece where she's on her first like sound stage, and nobody knows how to get the sound to work, and they're like locking this guy in this super hot box trying to film it, and they keep stopping it over and over and over again. She can't remember her lines, and like the heat's making the pay. Anyways, you got to watch it to understand, but it's so fucking good. Made me cry at the end. It's kind of like I think. The director, he did La La Land. He does these things with movies where they're all like kind of love letters to Hollywood, and this was no different. So you guys might have a different take on it. I personally thought it was just incredible, and it made me cry at the end because of all it shows a lot of Hollywood stuff and
Shocker.
color, and like
Shocker.
it shows
Crying
like
in
the
a movie.
transition. And I don't know, man. I just love Hollywood, and it's a movie about Hollywood, and you care about all these characters, and apparently they're all based on real characters, but they're not actually real characters. And it's so fucking good, man.
Watching these characters, like they're making movies. They don't have kids holding them down.
I don't care about that.
I didn't have the energy to watch this movie in the
understand.
theater, and it is only because you and I the week before saw Avatar, and that
Yeah.
was 3 hours and 10 minutes long.
And this was 3 hours and 10 minutes
And
long.
and when I heard the runtime was over 3 hours, I'm just like, I can't do it again. I just can't. So I will
Damien-
catch it when it comes out, but yeah, I'm not.
Damien
not watching
Chazelle is his name, is the director. But
Yeah.
and also, if I haven't convinced you yet with my weird analysis, there's a scene in this movie with Margot Robbie and Samara Weaving.
it. I like her.
And you're just it's funny because everyone says they look the same.
Uh-huh.
So like there's a whole thing where they're like, she doesn't look anything like me, and blah blah blah, and it's funny.
That's
so
funny.
I really, man, I fucking love this movie, and I probably put it up high because I thought that's where it should be, but I probably actually loved it more than I did. So all right,
More than you should have.
more than I should have. No, I mean it should have been lower in my list. It should have been like in the top 5, but I went conservative. So
I like when movies do those kinds of things, like that little insider, like they're using what's happening in the world now
Yeah.
to kind of fit into it. Because the new Scream movie that's coming out, I saw the trailer for it, and they have a scene where all of these people are dressed up for Halloween, and someone comes walking down the stairs of the subway dressed as Samara Weaving's character from Ready or Not, and Samara Weaving's in the movie. So I'm like, okay, I see
She's
what
like,
did
you look
there.
like an idiot.
Yeah, he looked like an idiot. That's why number 3 is Spirited. I'm just kidding.
Oh god, I'll walk out again.
Top 3 is Spirited.
Well, let's
fucking
just skip
Morbius,
over my
and Halloween
let's just skip
Ends.
over my number 8 then.
Is it
Are
really?
you serious?
No.
Oh my god. I'm glad you have a list.
I just wanted you to see this. I had wanted.
And apparently your brother hates it when you play clips on the show.
Oh, too many clips.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Don't we? We don't play clips anymore though.
That's why he doesn't hate the show.
He's like, thanks for
No,
listening to my feedback.
No. He did make an observation once before we get going. How sometimes we'll put in trailers with like almost no dialogue, so it's literally just fucking like sounds, weird sounds for like another minute or two, and
sometimes I try to
I
cut
know.
all that out,
I
and
know.
it's like, and then sometimes it's funny.
But no, you got 2 minutes of just like weird, and it's like okay.
So I was
it's the fast forward button.
Just to kind of pull the curtain back a little bit.
Hit that
as,
30-second button.
So
there.
as I was doing the
They hit it right now.
the trailer for Aaron's The Wild Bunch, there was a trailer that was on YouTube that had a song
1969's
that had a
greatest.
song from late 1970s.
What are you
Okay.
doing?
It was by the Traveling Wilburys.
Okay.
And I wanted to put that in because I was like, this is hilarious because this song was not even out when this trailer came out, but I didn't know if people would actually get that humor.
Okay.
That's
What's
funny.
your number 8?
My number 8 is
Number 8.
it's a movie that probably could have been a lot higher on my list, but it wasn't.
What a great analysis.
said.
I'll have to explain it to you when I tell you what the movie is.
Well, I mean, stop leaving us hanging, guy.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it would have been higher on my list
I didn't even think that was
had
gonna
it
make
not
your
been
list.
so. What's the word I'm looking for?
don't
So thinky. I think for an
engaging.
average person, I think this movie because there's a lot of people that went and saw it and was like, I didn't like this fucking movie. It's a fun movie to watch. I think there's a lot of cool fucking things go on in this movie. It is a very thinky movie that you have to think, why are they doing this? And it's a whole thing about relationships and
disagree.
fucking bagels and this whole thing. And it's going to go over a lot of people's heads that are your average type movie person that doesn't want to go
I
on a
have
deep
not
dive about a movie.
seen anybody not understand this movie.
I didn't say I
Even-
didn't understand it.
even-
I just said it's a very thinky movie where
Even
you have
normos.
to almost you got to really be like paying attention and be focused on a lot of what's going on in order to get it, because if you're just casually watching this movie, you're going to be completely lost.
I can't believe that's your number 8.
Is it your number 8?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It's on my list.
Well, yeah, so it's on my list too. But we
not at-
can't.
it's not at number 8.
We can't talk about it with Scott. We can't bring
I'm
it
just-
up.
I'm just like-
building the tension.
Hey, I'm impressed that it's on your top 10.
Me too.
I just think 8 is very high. And I just gave the speech like Clerks 3, I maybe should have been higher up or whatever. But okay.
It's just
Now I'm curious to see what 7 through 1 is.
this is what makes it fun.
You literally just blew your wad right now, and now you're just paying with the dregs of what you have left in your wallet. So I need to know.
I mean, I've only seen 10 movies all year, so I mean,
That's a good point.
Actually, I think is your number 1 a documentary?
no.
Okay.
If you're thinking what I'm thinking, that would be what I'd put on my honorable mention.
okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
What are we on 8? Jesus, only 8. My number 8.
Yeah, this is a long
just
show.
Yeah.
That's why it was like earlier the better.
You made the schedule?
No, but I was okay with it.
My number 8, I really enjoyed this movie. I know it is carbon copy story of almost every other thing that you've seen, Shakespeare,
Avatar.
Lion King, things like that. But I love
what
this
it is.
movie. I love the director. My number 8 is The Northman.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Almost
And-
cracked my top 10.
That's an honorable mention for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the visuals. I love
Eggers is great.
Eggers
He's
is
gonna
fantastic.
Keep making fucking movies.
I need to go back and watch the Vivitch because because the way he does it.
Was that an aneurysm?
The Vivitch.
There was no W in that time, so that's how they spelled witch
I
back
know.
then. Okay,
But,
you do not know that.
Oh, okay, I knew that.
Yeah, sorry.
Read a book. Just kidding. But I really enjoyed it. I would say my number 1 movie from a couple years back was The Lighthouse. So the fact that he's not higher up just speaks to, he did something,
And it sucks because everyone's like, well, it bombed, and it's like, did it though? It found the people that it was supposed to find. It got a second breath of life on home video. I agree with you 100%, and I just really need to laugh at all the people who are like, oh, he's going to make the new Thor movie. No, he isn't. He's done a shit ton of interviews. He is never going to do a movie that's not a period piece, and he's never going to join the Marvel. So stop it.
No, I'm going to do a Marvel 1602.
Yeah.
That's when he comes in and does that shit.
I don't want him to touch. I don't go away.
Giant bag of money.
I want.
That'll make
no,
everybody change their
stop
tune.
Yeah. Makes everybody talk.
And I just, I'm excited for his next movie, Nosferatu. Like he's
very
just
much.
fucking. He's a great guy. He's a great director, and The Northman's a great movie. I found there to be movies that were better than The Northman. Not that there's anything wrong with The Northman, so it definitely deserves to be on a list. Okay. My 8 is, I usually don't put these on lists, and I kind of surprised I did. So
Wakanda Forever.
The Batman. I went with The Batman as for number 8 because the one thing I always loved about The Dark Knight is if you took Batman out of that movie, it would still be a good movie. And I feel like the same exact goes for The Batman. If you took Batman out of that complete story, it would still be a good movie. It was fun to watch, and I fucking love Robert Pattinson. And I love Matt Reeves. I love the dark tone that he brought on it. They did it right, and they didn't connect it to a bunch of bullshit that I don't need to care about. The Riddler was actually very, awesome. The movie probably hangs around for 20 minutes too long, but other than that, it's a really good fucking movie, and Matt Reeves always knocks it out of the park. He did Planet of the Apes. He's doing it with Batman. I just, a different look at some of these characters, my favorite characters of all time, and it's dark in tone, and it's how Batman should be, or how a detective noir should be, and fucking just, I don't really have anything else to say about it because it's just so fucking good.
It's on my honorable mentions only because, like I said, 2022 just put out way too much.
Right. I get it.
And I loved the Batman. I ended up getting the soundtrack. I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought. Like you said, it hangs around a little bit too long in some parts. I think when you really overanalyze, how did you not know he was right across the street the whole fucking time? Whatever. I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
It's hard because of the fucking shit that's going on with DC to want a DC movie on your list.
Exactly.
And that's why it makes it hard for me to add it onto a top 10, but I like this movie. I know you and I talked about it ad nauseum how much we liked it. In fact, I wore the t-shirt last night when we went and fucking saw a movie. I know Scott thought it was boring and long.
Did you? I don't remember what you thought of it.
I think I was in step with when, like you just said, that it hangs around a little too long.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I totally understand that. I just think it's just everything, all the stuff that comes before it is so good that I can get past the last 30 minutes. Like, if I turned this off 30 minutes before it was over, I wouldn't be mad. And I mean, I bought every Steelbook version there was and the Walmart version. Yeah, they're all right there. And so it's just, I just really like this movie. It's one that I will, be
I almost rewatched it the other
years. Night. Yeah, it's good. It's a good movie.
Number 7.
Number 7.
So, kind of piggybacking off of it, my number 7 is The Batman.
Nice.
And like I said,
we're too close.
I was kind of in agreement where I'm a sucker for Batman. I mean, Batman is probably all you Superman people can come at me, whatever.
Yeah,
Batman is probably the best DC character.
He is.
In
100%.
DC's lineup.
Absolutely.
You can give me all the Batmans you want, and I will go watch all the Batmans. This one was a lot tonally different, and it was very emo Batman. I didn't hate that. I'm with Jordan. I like the original 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton. It's one of my favorites because it's very comic. It's very almost like the toys that you played with as a child, and that's what I like about this one, about that Batman. This movie, it's just I think it's shot well. I think there's some good visuals. My only complaint is that it is a little bit long. That's the only complaint I have about it.
Cool. Well, whatever. I have more in common with Scott this time.
That's weird.
What's your number?
My number 7 is one that I've been wanting to watch. I finally got around to watching it. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I think I've seen a lot of reviews praising this movie, but bringing that cast back together was a good thing. My number 7 is The Banshees of Inisherin. Inisherin, is that how you spell it?
Yes.
Okay, whatever. I
It's
actually
on my list.
I enjoyed it. I think Barry Keoghan is a fucking sleeper for one of the best actors out there right
Dude,
now.
he's so good.
Like,
in it.
even just going back to the Batman, when they throw out that little bit of the Joker, as much as I didn't really maybe like the makeup, I liked his portrayal of the Joker in that deleted scene. I think he was great in this. You know, Killing of Sacred Deer is fucking fantastic. This guy, it just comes in, does his shit, and fucking leaves. And it's like, you're
In
sitting
every
there going,
movie he's in.
Just a
he's so
blue-collar
good.
guy, man.
And it's like, I know they're doing this as a Colin Farrell movie. This is a, wow, fucking what's his face? I'm losing it as far as who he is. But
Mad Eye Moody.
yes, exactly. That's what I'm referring to. They are praising that as their movie, but when Barry Keoghan was on screen, I'm like, this fucking dude is stealing everything he's in. So I highly enjoyed this movie.
Brendan Gleeson.
It was a last minute, like, end of the year watch. So, I mean, there was a lot fucking in between first of the year, last of the year. But I think this is definitely a movie people need to watch. It's going to be a little slower for a lot of people. I love the Brendan Gleeson's being with Colin Farrell again because I fucking love In Bruges. And so to see them on screen again was great. But
Is that how we're going to be? You're just going to get tired of me one day?
Yeah.
Be like,
Also, you hear
Leave me alone.
Get your door.
leave me alone or I'm going to start chopping out my fingers. I'll bother you just so you chop them off.
Do it. Knock, 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 knock. So, yes, that's my number.
Just wouldn't affect any of his movie watching. Though, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's
true.
like how should I gouge his eyeballs out
How would I press play?
with your nose?
I already kind of talked about this film, but I think it got deleted in the deleted episode. Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. My number 7 is Senior, the Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah. You did talk about it at length in the never before heard version of
It's
that show.
It's a documentary. It's one of the best documentaries out right now. I don't think anybody's watching it because I haven't seen really anybody talk about it or put it on their list. It's just like Babylon in the sense that it's like a movie about old Hollywood with some really fun people, and it's just kind of like I said a couple weeks ago. It's just interesting to see the relationship between Robert Downey Jr. and his father. It's a nice time capsule to have since his father did pass away in June of last year, and it's probably the best documentary of the year in my opinion. Other than that other one we watched that is very conservative, but it's really, really good, and especially if you like old Hollywood, you like indie films. There's this whole thing at the end with this very long speech that Robert Downey Jr.'s dad gives in a movie, and it's fan-fucking-tastic. And I just think if you're into old Hollywood, if you're into if you like Robert Downey Jr. and you like to see like the drug stuff and like him kind of talking about his life, it's definitely worth it's only an hour and a half. So like yeah, definitely one of the best movies of the year, and you guys are doing yourself not you guys, but the audience.
Why'd you point at us when you did that then?
Yeah. With his right
are
arm.
doing a huge
With what finger?
disservice of not seeing it. So I highly recommend Senior.
Yes, it's definitely on my list. I love Robert Downey Jr. I think if you're out there, you're making movies, if you're making anything about old Hollywood or how the sausage is made, as it were, you're gonna crack Aaron's top 10 no matter what.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Because that's how he
Anything
does
about
it.
old Hollywood goes straight to the fucking
It's
top.
why I got you that book.
I
I'm sitting there
love it.
going, you know what?
I've read like
Old Hollywood,
I just
the inside baseball of like the fucking actors and directors and all that shit. That's
Yeah.
in your wheelhouse.
See, I get that though because I feel kind of the same way about sports because
Yeah.
it's like when you go into the old sports stuff, man, it's like there's just something timeless about it. And
Well, it's
I
just
mean, that's
crazy
how
because-
I can relate to how he feels about that because that's how I feel about
Well,
it.
and it's like when we watched your old baseball movie. And
Right.
You're right. You see it's a time capsule to
Right, exactly.
when it was at maybe not. I wouldn't say its height, but like at most beloved.
Correct.
You know, in the 40s, 50s,
a history,
things like that. And
And what
I get that.
Well, most of the thing that what I like the most about old Hollywood is it just how it shaped today's Hollywood. And today's Hollywood is okay. Like we still get good movies and stuff, but it's changed so politically, climate, and it's not what it used to be. And I
Well-
liked that back then that they would take these chances. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a lot of the stuff we have today. And they were just so willing to, back something that they didn't understand. And I don't think you still get that today. It's like, this isn't a Marvel or tentpole film. This isn't something with a huge cast. you have to go out searching for that. Back then, that was just, okay, that's playing on a Friday night. We have 3 chances to watch it. Let's go.
It was more of a glamour thing.
Yeah.
Where old Hollywood was glamour, things that you didn't get the insight. Now we're so inundated with shit. Hollywood's got a bad rap, and you know what?
It's
just
a
how it
bummer
works.
because it's like, this is my time, and who knows what it's going to be like with my kids, and they might not like it as much as me because of all that, because of just so much saturation. But it's when you look back and you're like, Steven Spielberg heard about this and then decided to make a movie, or Robert Downey Jr.'s dad put him in this fucking weird indie flick, and that was his first acting role that pushed him into this, that got him into drugs, and it's just like, that's fucking nuts.
It's going to be a choose your own adventure going forward. Everybody's just going to be like, do you want to be offended or not offended? Not
It's
offended.
not even that.
It's just going to take you
it's
on a
more
different
like,
movie path.
It's just I just, not right now, but if the
I know what
projection
you're
of
saying.
Hollywood keeps going the way it is, I just don't see a lot of room for indie films and stuff like
A lot
that.
of
It's all just going
eggshells.
to be
A lot of walking on
mass-produced
eggshells.
garbage, and it's a bummer to me. We're not going to get as many X's and pearls in the future, even though those are good movies and they make money. It's just not. They'll look at it and say, okay, well, we'll make it.
No one's gonna see them.
Right. Yeah,
You'll have your
exactly.
little pockets of people that talk about it, but
Exactly.
it's
And
1%
so
of everything.
Luckily, we had all these years of movies that we haven't seen come out, and we can focus on that. We don't have to focus
and
on
that'll be
today.
our next podcast in 2045.
All right. So, anyways, what are we on, 6?
Number 6.
Number 6.
6.
I can't wait to tell you what mine is. Go ahead.
My number 6
You guys are going to be looking at me
is
like I'm crazy.
something that's it came out pretty recently. We've talked about it. It's one that I appreciate these types of movies because of the labor of love that goes into movies like this. Is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Yes.
Nice. That's
So
also
much
on my list. But
disrespect at number 6 that he didn't even pronounce his name correctly.
Guillermo
Del Toro.
Did I say Del Toro or did I
Yes,
say
you
Del
did.
Toro?
No, you said Del Toro.
Wow, maybe it was like a fucking aneurysm
It
moment.
was the dollar.
I know
Tree.
what I'm trying
This
to
is
say.
the copy you got from Five Below.
Maybe it was because the Guillermo. I just kind of piggybacked off
I think that was on the deleted episode as well, so we could talk about
That
it.
is also on my list.
Yeah, it's also on my list. So, yeah, I completely agree. That's the best version of Pinocchio there is.
gorgeous movie.
It's a little higher, but it's a fucking great film. World War II,
it's a good
tragedy.
story. There's a good story in there.
Oh,
the cool death universe thing. Pinocchio is a likable character, unlike the one that came out with Tom Hanks.
Well, and you feel for Geppetto in this movie. I mean, you feel his.
Because you give him more backstory than I think
Right.
what we've seen before. You know why he lost his kid. You know why he's the way he is.
Yeah,
You-
the remake
you
with Tom Hanks,
understand it.
garbage. I mean,
It
it's
was
like they're just
garbage.
giving us the
Don't
same
tell Kim.
exact. They're giving us the cartoon in a, in a just an updated version, and this one was different.
Mm-hmm.
It presented you the same dinner, but in a different way.
Yeah, and it was perfect. I liked it. Like
Yeah.
Aaron's a little higher up on mine, but we'll get to that. All right, my number 6. I can't believe this made my list only because I can't remember the last time I had just this much fun in a movie theater. It's a Christmas movie. It's Violent Night.
Wow, that's pretty high.
Yeah, and it's because I had such a great time with it. It was such a fun.
That floated
fucking
around
movie.
the end of my list, where it's kind of probably on my honorable.
Did you end up
mentions.
watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you went to the theater by yourself. I ended up watching it in the theater by yourself, and I know it just released, so I wasn't sure
You
if you
didn't
got
go by
around to it.
yourself.
No, I mean I went with my brother.
It's another fun ass movie. I just couldn't. I couldn't justify
There's too many
cracking my top 10, but it was up there.
There's too many good movies that.
Yeah, it was up
that
there.
wasn't. That's
I
not
just-
even an honorable mention. It's just-
I thought it was fun.
exists
I had
in
a
the
good time.
pantheon of
Yeah.
movies.
It was Christmas. It was the second time Aaron said Pantheon tonight.
Pantheon.
in the zeitgeist of
in the
the
zeitgeist
Pantheon.
of the Pantheon.
Said that, guys.
Yeah, we haven't got to the top 3. Those are zeitgeist movies.
We might be getting through to Jordan. We might be eking the Christmas into his heart.
Maybe.
Yeah, you fucking
I
pull a
just-
guy through a chimney and watch his torso go flying out. You're gonna hook me in,
To
man.
me, it's just a movie that exists for Christmas, and it's fine and it's fun, and I'll watch it again. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine.
But for me to have a movie that now every year I'm going to watch
Yeah.
for that holiday, you don't
I
get a
get
lot
you.
of those,
That's fine.
repeat
I'm not-
watch movies. I've seen it twice already.
I'm not no judgments here.
Judging right now.
No Pinocchio.
It's
What's that?
a little
It's
higher
no
up.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, because I rate that better. So, but
Don't
yes,
act
that,
like he just put Violent Night on his list. He doesn't get to
oh,
talk
Violent
shit.
Night, man.
So
Again, what is your?
That's what I like about these
that's
lists,
okay.
man.
You
They're
can give me
so
shit
they're
about
so
mine too. We all
so
had
diverse.
Yeah, it's craziness because I know you literally told me this wasn't going to make your top 10.
Oh, the
but it
menu.
immediately made my top 10. But yeah, the menu. The menu's fucking awesome.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, you would be wrong.
No
So,
Violent Night.
Violent Night, man.
The menu is awesome. It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, and then as it unfolds, it just gets better and better. It's not overly violent. I liked it, and I think Ralph Fiennes is as good as he's ever been. Or is it Ralph or Rafe? Rafe Fiennes. Ralph, Rafe, whatever. Voldemort is as good as he's ever been.
Sam.
Man has been in
Samsonite.
so many great movies
I
that
love-
Voldemort is going to be his thing.
I love Anna Tyler Joy or
we know.
whatever the fuck her name is. What's his face? Beast. He's good in it. I just
He was a fucking asshole.
I know, and I like
I
that.
loved it for that because he was just like, I gotta take pictures of everything. What do you think, he loves me? And I knew something was up about that fucking guy. And then like the twist comes with him, and I'm like, you fucking, I hope you fucking die.
And see, I
and
like-
it's so.
it
It's
did-
a good movie. I'm not saying it's bad.
It didn't retire. It didn't require like the twist to be so
No, no,
crazy.
no.
And I don't
Not at
even
all.
think the twist was that big of a deal. I thought it was just a nice, like, oh, okay, this is kind of what's going on, but that's not even taking precedence of the story itself. So, like I said, to me, it was one of the best times I had in the theater. I know a lot of people love this movie. I can't wait to own it. I liked how like every course had its own little like.
I thought the fucking little menu placards
Yeah,
every
the
time they
yes.
switched to that, I laughed so hard on every
So,
one of them. Especially when they talked about Beast's fucking menu choice. He's like, really fucking terrible lamb, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, they still put that in there. That was fucking hilarious.
Did you watch it? It's on HBO Max.
No,
Please-
so
yeah, I'd say watch it.
I've been trying to binge a lot of these movies that I knew that I wanted to watch, and of course, being at the end of the year with all the Oscar buzz, like I was trying to kind of get in a lot of that stuff. So I was kind of being choosy on what I was
it's
watching.
hard to watch
Nicholas
movies and
Hoult.
drive to Flagstaff at the same
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's very, very.
Guess where you'll be next weekend.
Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Well, I got to take her back.
Well, I mean, she
have
has
to.
legs, right? All right. So
I walked both ways, 300 miles in the snow
In the
both
snow.
ways.
at least she could actually tell that story.
Right.
She has that dog to keep her company.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's staying with you. That's
Yes.
right.
Oh,
Enjoy your new dog.
oh man. A lot to catch up on.
All right.
What's your number 5?
Now,
Top 5.
now we're in the meat and potatoes.
Top five.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Another movie that I've recently watched
Silent Night,
that
Deadly
just
Night.
made it onto my list. It is Glass Onion.
Wow. So
It's-
I debated putting this on my list, and I said, I don't know. I couldn't. It was either the menu or Glass Onion. So I went
So
with
this
the
one
menu.
had me confused when I watched it, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't understand everyone Norton's
No,
character at
because
all.
it's you. So you're watching this movie because it's this murder mystery. It's a whodunit type movie. You're trying to kind of pinpoint who the killer is. That's not the main part of the movie.
Correct.
The
Which
main
is
part of the movie is
awesome.
all the shit that unfolds to get you to that point. And I was like, when I got to the end, I was like, that left me very satisfied because
Yes.
it wasn't about who the killer was.
Yeah, it's
it was
almost like
about
you get it right
everything
away.
else, all the
Well,
layers
see, I thought
to get to that
and
point.
what
Like
I
a
like-
what?
Like an onion.
But
That's
see,
right.
the thing that's funny about it is the first one was like a who's the killer,
Right.
And then the second one doesn't rely on the same formula,
No.
and goes, well, you know who the killer is
Because
in
it's
the
kind of
first
predictable.
five.
It's very
yeah,
predictable.
I immediately was like him.
But it's
And-
everything that unfolds from that point on is what the real movie is.
Yeah.
And that's what made it such a fun movie. And I mean, it sucks that it took me this long to finally watch it because I watched it like 3 days ago, and it ended
Well,
up
I mean, to
cracking
be
my
fair,
top 5.
it came out in the theaters for like a week around Thanksgiving, and then it just barely made it to. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're not waiting that long. You didn't. It wasn't like it came out in March, and we've been fucking telling you to watch it. So
Right.
I'll give you that pass, but yeah, it was one of those.
Thank
You're welcome. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like, oh, you came out, Glass Onion is in my top 5. You're such a fucking witty person,
Right.
It just came out. It's all over the internet and all that shit. So I mean,
I don't think he's the only one that put it in his top 5. So
No, it's
It's
a
in my
fun
top
it's a
5.
fun movie to watch. It kind of plays on all the stuff of today. You got the COVID shit, and they make it funny. With the shooting the fucking thing in everybody's mouth and stuff. And you're good. It's just a fun movie to watch. And it's
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
For
I think
no reason.
anybody is going to have. Straight to the movie people to like the everyday person. This is a movie that's going to be right there for everyone to watch. That everyone will get. And people will enjoy it.
Well, and we said it last week. We can watch Daniel Craig be this character.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking the rest of his fucking career, and I'd be
yeah,
okay
brother.
with it. Like, it's fantastic.
Hells yeah, brother.
My number 5, was a movie that made me feel uncomfortable when I watched it, and I loved it for that. And it's such a weird movie because it's a tale of two movies. And me and Aaron had a fun time watching this. I enjoyed the movie immensely. I will rewatch it, and I think it was pretty awesome. My number 5 is Barbarian.
It's on my honorable mentions. I love that movie.
Yeah, and it was one of those where it's like I was looking at the side. I had my fingers.
Barbarian's awesome.
The music is intense. It was like what you said Skinamarink was, where it's like, what's down that fucking dark hallway? Eventually they show you, but you still had that, okay, he's looking down this dark, something's gonna happen. You're getting the chills, the music's great, and then tonally it just fucking flips halfway through, and it becomes a different movie. And then they merge them together, and it becomes this whole thing. I think the ending was a little weird with the fucking laughable creature woman thing jumping off, all fucking weird. But I think overall the movie was fantastic.
Did you see
I think
it?
that was my top 5.
No.
You never saw
Not
it?
yet.
You
No.
gotta watch it,
Bro,
That's
you're
what I'm
going to
saying,
watch
man.
Glass Onion?
Dude,
It's on HBO Max.
I did a fucking grind of movies this last week and a half to just
I guess
make
we
up
should-
to the point of
Hey guys, I'm on a
making
movie
my
show,
top
and
10.
I watched like 4 movies this week.
Are you like booking?
It's about to fall
You
off.
keep
It's
talking, I'll fix it.
All right.
No, distract him.
That's fine. Yeah,
So yes, that's my number 5.
I loved Barbarian. I just thought there were other better movies, but I did like it, and I think what I liked most about it is like all the stuff I'm hearing afterwards, like
All right,
how
stop touching it.
Craig Mills got it made and everything like that.
Oh yeah, the backstory about how it got made is interesting as all hell.
Justin Long, how he got involved because it was originally supposed to be Efron, and then I liked it. It was a good movie. Okay, so my number 5. We're getting into the big boys here, as I call them. Is Pinocchio. So we don't have to spend a ton of time on that. I think I've said everything there is to say about it. It's the best version of Pinocchio there is. That's why it belongs top 5. It's fucking incredible.
And it should win for best animated feature.
It better. If it doesn't, I haven't seen anything else, and I don't think Disney put out anything this year that deserves the win. So they can lick it. Shinx Yomi Coke. All right. So what is your number? Are we at 4?
4.
Number 4.
Cuatro.
Hold on.
He wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
Way to
Another
produce some
movie
results.
that I just watched. My number 4 is
Not Barbarian.
The Fablemans.
What? Oh, that makes me so happy.
This is why I haven't talked about this stuff,
Guess
because
what
I
my
wanted
number 4
I
is?
wanted it
Watch
to
it.
be right here.
My number 4 is The Fablemans as well, so we don't have to go into a whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. What are we talking about? Old Hollywood.
He's like, this is great. You want a kiss?
Yeah, a little bit. Spielberg fucking be actually, I don't know, me lining up with you makes me kind of sad. Yeah, Spielberg's story's fucking
Not as
incredible.
out there as you thought.
The whole Paul Dano, Seth Rogen stuff. Even I hate Seth Rogen. I liked him in this movie.
Right.
I thought
The only thing that really turned me off to the point was Michelle Williams and her super overacting in this movie.
she was very overactive. She's gonna win. She's gonna win.
She
and then
will
can
probably
relax.
win something.
She can relax after this.
But it just almost was like, hey, you got this cool movie about, finger quote, Steven Spielberg making movies and him coming up and growing up, and then you got Michelle Williams just like fucking mommy dearest,
yeah,
It's
but
like
she's supposed to be crazy.
I know, but it's like, and she does a great job at being crazy, but it almost takes the focus,
You haven't
I think,
watched it?
off of what that movie should be. is about him and his filmmaking.
No, I think he made the film, and I think
Right.
he
I think
wanted
he
to
wanted to
focus
do it,
more
yeah.
on his mom's mental condition. But I just like the whole like how he became like with the train, and he's like in order to understand it, he has to watch it over and over and over again. And it's like
Arizona.
he kind of
Yeah.
and he kind of gets and you kind of see inside of Spielberg's head on how he creates. And like I love the end with the jock, and he's like, "Why'd you do that?" And he's like, "I just put it on screen, bro." Like,
Hey, look at that picture. What do you see over there?
So, oh, you did watch it.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, I like that part too because he fixes it at the end. Anyways, yes, The Fabelmans is.
And was that your number 4?
Yes, it was.
Okay, well, we can just go into my number 4 real quick. My number 4 was Bones and All. And another movie we talked ad nauseum and got erased completely.
I love Bones and All.
Love that movie. The more I think about it, the more I think I loved it, and that's why it made my top 4. I think it's going to get lost in people's conversations. I don't think a lot of people are really talking about it.
Well, some people say it's the worst movie of the year,
And that's I completely disagree with that.
If this was a top 11, it would have been my 11. It's an honorable mention, but yeah,
It would have been your 12. You picked 2 movies.
whatever.
Anyway, but yeah, that is
They
my
exist as one.
that is my number 4. I thought it was a lot better than I thought. It's very YA, young adult type.
No,
shit.
it's good. It's
But I think it's good, and it gave me enough to want. I want to know more about what these people are. Like, are they just fucking weird cannibals? Is something supernatural behind it? Obviously, there is because they can smell each other, and
Right.
it's a whole thing.
It's an
like
allegory for vampires and drug use. I'm telling you,
dogs
I
begin
said this
to
on
trail
the.
her.
I said this on the.
There's no
deleted,
record of it.
There's the deleted podcast, but it is an allegory. There's some vampire thing going on, and it's not really vampire. It's like a cannibalistic thing, but
Right.
But the way they make it seem
It
is like
just
a
feels like it should be.
vampire, and then. It is clearly an allegory for drugs because the drugs continue to consume them and then they relapse.
Right.
Blah blah blah.
And,
'Cause they're like, we're
it's
gonna
like-
get off drugs and become a family, and then one relapses and dies.
I
But-
love the setting. I love
Yeah.
the time frame. The acting was good. I mean, Timothy Chalamet is pretty good.
Timothy Chalamet rules, and all these people, all these haters, step off.
I don't think. Hey, step off.
Step off.
Step off, George. Yeah. Wait, Tony. What? Step off.
Step off.
Yeah,
But-
step
Step
off.
off.
Step off, Charlemagne haters. He's not going anywhere.
Who's hating him? Everyone talks highly of this kid.
Go read Twitter.
No, I don't refuse.
Okay.
Anyway, but
So-
that's my number 4.
Nice.
And we already did your number 4. So Scott, what's your number 3?
Number 3
Number 3
is a movie that I thought that
Watched
I was
yesterday.
going to
Actually, I'm doing that.
absolutely
Saw this morning.
fucking hate. I thought, and I only watched this movie because it was on a list of movies that I needed to watch,
Schindler's List.
and I absolutely enjoyed this movie for whatever weird reason. Is my number 3, The Banshees of Inisherin?
You said it was boring.
That's not what I said.
You did
I said
say
I thought it was going to be very boring, and that's what I ended up watching this and liked this movie because of everything unraveling in this movie.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It's a slow movie, but
I didn't think
the
it was slow at all.
story is enough to keep you around because you're like, why the fuck
like
is this guy mad?
Everything with
Right?
this-
Like, why is he angry?
never
Like,
really find out
You
why.
never find out. And it's this destruction of these two fucking friends internally just burning themselves to the fucking ground over the reason that he's just like, I just don't want to be your friend anymore. And it was, you get to the end and you're like,
I'm definitely
so
Colin Farrell in this
we
situation.
still don't fucking know, but I still felt satisfied that I got enough of a story to feel like my cup was full.
I just don't like the fact that they made a biopic of our relationship and put it out before we could really get it done. So
Yeah, I mean, the whole time I'm thinking,
why
I'm
is
like,
Jordan mad?
Why
Well,
did
fuck,
this?
why don't you know?
Why did this guy do what he's fucking doing? That is extreme. And I'm like, that is Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I know.
Which one? The guy cutting off his finger?
Yes.
No, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just be like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. The second you were like, hey, sorry for
You
whatever I
were
did,
ready
I'd be
to
like,
burn down the fucking podcast when I went live on another podcast last Thursday.
No,
You're at
I
dinner
was-
being all
I
pissed off,
was-
Scott, to talk you off
I
a ledge.
wasn't really gonna burn it
Next
down.
week, Jordan gets this package in the mail, and Aaron's like, hey, man, I
Just
sent that out a
fingers.
week ago. I'm sorry the UPS lost it. And you're like, why is your thumb in this fucking box, dude?
Right.
Anyways,
Just trying to prove a point.
Listen, I love you to death, man. You're my best friend, and I know I can act crazy sometimes, but I don't ever want to stop being your friend. So,
All right. So my number 3, The Fablemans.
Nice.
I know, and it was.
I'm so happy.
And it was.
I wish you guys would have saw it with me in the theaters, but I'm so happy you guys saw it.
You go like it's like, hey guys, we got to go at 4:00 on a Friday. Like I don't fucking get off work, man.
I get
Our
that.
schedules aren't your schedule.
I know that. I'm just saying. I wish you.
You're
could've-
like, hey, I've got 2 days off. Fuck the kids. I'm going to 5 movies today, and he'll go watch them all. So,
I try to put everything into one day, so so after she goes to bed, I can do it around the time they're going to bed, and then well into late of the night, and I give up sleep for it, but it's fine.
anyway, but we talked about it. Great movie.
Yes.
I dug it a lot more than I thought. I thought the whole Spielberg making a movie about himself kind of felt weird when I heard about it and was thinking about it, but I think it works.
His
I think
mom
it was
definitely
really
wanted to bang him, right? Like that was
It was
like
a little weird.
It was like that's how I felt throughout the whole movie. It was like, did your mom want to have sex with you, Steve?
But yes, that is my number 3.
Sex with Uncle Eddie.
Yeah,
Or whatever it's fucking- Which I didn't hate him in this movie.
Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
right.
I thought I was when he popped up on screen. I was like,
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Seth Rogen, dude.
They
Jesus
did a good
Christ.
job of
They muted him. They
Yeah.
kept him fucking mute.
they did. Yeah, they did a good job of making me not think it was Seth Rogen, which
Yeah.
he is in every movie.
sure.
And he does have that moment where you're like, oh, that moment where he gives him the camera, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I still hated that because I didn't like what his mom was doing, and I know it was his
I know.
mom's fault, and he was just like, hey, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, Paul Dano works so hard, like stop it. So
And what's great, we got 2 Paul Dano movies in 1 year.
yeah,
And which is weird because that dude is almost like a Daniel Day-Lewis, where
Yeah.
like he just pops up and then disappears for 4 years, and then just comes
Absolutely.
back and does
Absolutely.
something else.
I love Paul Dano.
Yeah,
he
he's
should be
great.
in more things. My number 3 is something I literally watched 2 days ago. So, Decision to Leave. Did you watch it last night?
Not to get around to it. It got so late. I was like,
I
you know what?
understand.
I don't want to force it just to get it on a list because I know I'm gonna like it. I'm just too tired.
So the reason that it is on, that it cracks my top 3 and that it's so good is because our old boy Park Chan-wook. This
I was really hoping it made it because I love when he butchers Korean names.
So this isn't like anything you ever seen from him before. It's not like Old Boy. It's not like The Handmaiden. There's not some crazy reveal or crazy twist at the end. To me, this is his Vertigo. It's his Alfred Hitchcockian neo-noir mystery thriller. It's fucking awesome. The cinematography's in it's great. It kind of reminds me of that movie Insomnia with Al Pacino.
When
a
I
little
read the
bit.
description, when they talked about the main like detective is an insomniac dealing with his wife and life and stuff like that, I'm thinking, oh, this is Insomnia. This is
it has that Christopher Nolan feel
Right.
too. There isn't a lot of twisties and turnies. Now there is, in a way, like you see a lot of like stuff unfold later in the film that you didn't see like at the beginning, but it's not really a twist. Like the stuff already happens and it's just getting
adding more
explained.
layers to
Yeah, and it's really fucking good, and it made me feel the same way when I watched Parasite. Like this is a fucking great movie, and if it doesn't win like best foreign picture or whatever, I'll be really surprised because
He'll
it's
cut his
just,
fingers off.
It's to me it's not as good as Old Boy, but it's still, it deserves to be talked about. It deserves to be put next to Bong Joon-ho and stuff like that. In fact, the main guy is in Memories of a Murder. He was in The Host, and now he's in this movie.
I love that guy.
Just watch it. Like, it's on Mubi. You can get it on
You threatened me.
Apple TV for free for 7 days or whatever. It's worth your time. I really wish I would have saw this in the theaters, and I had a chance. I blew it.
Yeah, we left the movie theater last night. I got home. It was like what,
Yeah, that's all I can
11:30, something like that. And then I looked at the runtime of like 2 hours, and it was like 170 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, I can't, because then it'll be like almost 2 a.m. before I go to sleep. I know I won't be focused. I want to devote the actual sit down and watch time to this, and I didn't want to do it.
You call it a waterfall movie. There's no waterfalls in it.
It was a mountain.
Okay. Anyways.
Mountain Dew.
I think there was a picture I saw online of the poster. It looked like there was a waterfall, but yeah, some guy falls off a mountain that he's always climbing, and,
Yeah, that's correct.
and then
Anyways,
hilarity ensues.
what hilarious. Yeah. It's not funny at all, but it's good. The main guy is very interesting, and like you're just like, why is he doing what he's doing? So I recommend, you won't watch it. It's 2 hours of reading the screen. So anyways, go ahead.
Number 2.
Number two.
No, but adults.
So my number 2 is a movie that we've talked about already.
Metallica, Enter
Yeah.
the Realm.
No, and this
Some kind
is
of monster.
and it's definitely up on my list because of the emotional factor. This is a movie that I saw in theaters when I was in high school. And
It's 22.
listen to me. Zip it. I saw
Oh,
this
shit.
movie in high school in a theater, and it changed the way that I thought about
Clerks 3.
movies. It was Clerks. So my number 2 is Clerks 3.
Woo!
Look at that.
Man, my Clerks didn't crack my
Yeah,
top
why did
10.
you hate Clerks?
I
Aaron?
did. I loved it.
Really? It's not on your top 10.
This is it's actually a really good movie
I've
for a
heard.
Kevin Smith movie, but I think Clerks is his best work. I mean, when you're looking at a portfolio of his big stuff, I think Clerks is right up there. I mean, you've got the Mallrats, you've got Chasing Amy, you got Dogma, you got all this other stuff that are great by themselves. This is a character storyline. And
Absolutely.
these are relatable characters.
I'm Randall.
Yeah, these are all relatable
we
characters, man. And this was such a good
I think I'm gonna need a Randall tattoo.
Wrap up.
Like, not even joking.
to the
The animated
the
version.
trilogy of Clerks movies. I mean, it kind of teared you up a little bit. It made
little
you all
bit.
warm and fuzzy. Jordan was pissed because he had the guy laughing next to him.
He
But
said
again-
he said the line.
But this was
fucking
my
logo.
number 2 movie of the year, and it's just infinitely rewatchable. And what else can you say?
Yeah,
Did
it made my
you-
list, man. I love that.
Have
movie.
you guys ever? Do you guys ever like fall down the YouTube rabbit hole ever?
Sometimes.
So
What's YouTube?
they
like pimple
No,
videos
seriously.
and stuff.
Have you watched anything on like the Clerks 3 convenience stores or anything?
I watch stuff all the time. Yes.
Okay.
I just don't.
No,
talk
I'm
about
saying like, did you watch anything on the Clerks 3
some
stuff?
of it.
Did you watch any of his interviews he was giving at other cities?
No.
So he went on and said what originally Clerks 3 was going to be.
Oh, I knew about that one.
The school shoot or the theater shooting one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it is so dark. I'm glad he went with
Jeez.
what he went with.
Well, and I want to figure out if there's some way we can find, because there's just no way. They did that table read
They
of the
did.
original script.
Yeah.
And even to the point where they were like, how are we going to film this? Like,
Right.
how is this going to be? You can't put this out. Like, we can't make this movie. And, that's neat. I would love to see it. I like what they gave us.
So I guess thank God Kevin Smith had a heart attack.
Right, because he decided to. He even says that when you're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
He says, he's like, yeah, thank God I had a heart attack because I went with this instead of this. But he says,
Getting
but
more
if
Tusk.
you listen to the actual thing, it doesn't sound terrible. Like, it sounds fun with a horrible ending. So, yeah.
This time we got fun with a horrible ending,
Yeah.
but horrible in a different way.
He was going to die either way. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he should have died in the first movie, technically.
Yeah. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is something you guys have already talked about. It's a little higher up for me. I think I respect the.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, it is Pinocchio. Guillermo
I
del
just like
Toro's
guessing.
Pinocchio.
I like guessing.
I think I feel the artistry of this movie elevates it more than putting actors on screen. Work when it.
artistry. I'm just fucking with you. Sorry.
Can I finish?
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Yes.
I'm finished.
All right.
No,
Dukes.
I feel I feel it deserves a lot more respect than I think what most people would give it. The people are going to watch and be like, oh, "That's a cute little animated movie." No, these people fucking painstakingly
Labor.
made this movie, and the behind the scenes is fantastic. That everything from start to finish is gorgeous. It's got Guillermo del Toro's spin on it. If we were going to put,
Tomo.
Del Tomo, it's the Mexican
El Topo.
yeah, the El Topo. He just does quality work. I love everything this man puts his name on and does. And even some of the things that aren't as popular, like, what was that, Crimson Peak, I still think were good because he had his hand in it. And he is such good artistry when it comes to creature design. I think
Artistry again.
the pantheon of movies.
Zeitgeist.
It's in the
Zeitgeist
zeitgeist.
of artistry.
I just I
onion.
think it's great, and it's no glass onion. But Pinocchio is my number 2.
Nice. Luckily, this is why the show doesn't go as long as we anticipate, because my number 2 is something we've also already talked about. Everything Everywhere All at Once. So
Oh, what's your number one? Oh shit.
something we've already talked about. But Everything Everywhere All at Once was fucking phenomenal.
His number one's A Christmas Story Christmas.
yeah,
Yep.
it is actually.
Terrifier 2.
Here
comes the
We
curveball.
already talked about it, but it's I think a lot of stuff people don't know this, but they originally wanted Jackie Chan for the role of the husband in this movie. They went to his house and they're like, he doesn't even get out of bed for this much money. They went with the kid from fucking Indiana Jones,
Kiki Kwan.
and it worked so well. This movie works. It's feel good. It's exceptionally good as the multiverse goes. Movies go. It's just fun to watch. Hot Dog Fingers. I mean,
Do you know she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
shut the fuck up. Yes, I knew that. It's like,
Now that's a call.
I had to throw that in there.
because the last time we did a movie show, I had never seen that. We watched it for the movie show.
Yeah, but we talked about it on this show where
Oh, okay.
it was a whole
Got it.
joke as well.
It's kind of my favorite inside bit.
All right. So yeah, watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Buy all the 4Ks. Googly eyes. It's fun. So
Way to sell it. All right. All right, here we go. Number one.
The number
How many
one.
repeats are we going
And
to get?
All
this
of
is
them.
probably not
All
going to
of them.
end up, because this is going to be the only time this movie's mentioned. And I feel,
How do you know? I got a number one. He's got a
yeah,
number one,
because
too.
I have a feeling. I kind of really struggled with, like, okay, am I going to put this at number one? Because, and then I said, fuck it. You know what? I love this
My
fucking
list.
I love this fucking movie, and it's my fucking list. My number one fucking movie
Super
Wow.
Pets.
is Top Gun Maverick.
What do we have here? Yeah, here I thought we were special.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What the hell kind of mission is this?
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they gonna get to teach us?
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. You are not my first choice. You are here at the request of Admiral Kazansky, aka Iceman. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
With all due respect, sir, I'm not a teacher. Just want to manage expectations.
What the hell? Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
And we're off.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
We're going into combat on a level no living pilot's ever seen. Not even him.
You think up there you're dead. Believe me.
My dad believed in you. I'm not gonna make the same mistake.
Someone's not coming back from this.
Those are your pilots. Anything happens to them. You'll never forgive yourself.
No turning back now.
Having any fun yet?
Fair, yeah, because I loved the living shit out of this movie.
honorable mention.
It's
It was
so
on the list
fucking
for a
fun to
while.
watch. It's better than the original. It's just
God,
what
suck
what
its
else?
dick
What else
already.
could you want to say? It's my number one. God damn it!
Why don't you fucking find Tom Cruise and give him a blow?
I will. I'll give him a Scientology blowy.
So upset. God, you're so
He's
mad.
mad
We're
that it's
like
his
we're,
number
literally,
one.
we're
We're like,
literally
yeah, that's
agreeing
it,
with
yeah.
you.
I
and
just
he's like
I
ready to
just figured
punch
I was
us.
like I'm hearing your top 10 list and I'm like, this movie's not gonna be on anybody's list.
It was on my list for a while. I
It
turned
was.
off.
It got pushed off.
Yeah.
Yep. I actually
But
moved
it
it off
is-
for Clerks 3. It was on my top 10 for a while. It's an honorable mention. I did have a good time watching it. I've watched it since. I made my kids watch it. They enjoyed it. But I think that speaks to how simple this movie is.
It's an emotional number one for me. I mean, it's not that it's like
Number one.
it's not that it's like a Fablemans or it's not
Right.
a Banshees. It's definitely not a Pinocchio. But you know what? Like you said, man, it's
I think
it's
it-
Top Gun,
I think
man.
it belongs there. I think it's gonna win something.
I think it'll win something.
I mean, the damn thing made like $8 billion. Like,
I don't care about that.
No, I'm just
and
saying,
the fact
like,
that
people
Avatar
loved
just knocked it out, man.
Oh,
I'm
fuck
like,
Avatar.
fuck off.
Don't talk about Avatar. Anyway,
Welcome to the Avatar podcast, where we talk about Avatar
yes.
25.
All right.
Tom Cruise sliding down my pole at number 1.
Jesus.
It's a short ride. My number 1 is something that no one's mentioned. It's going to come out of left field. It's such a fucking great movie. I wish you guys would have watched it. My number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
Now, you may only see a pile of receipts, but I see a story. I can see where this story is going. It does not look good.
What's happening?
Evelyn, I'm not your husband. I'm another version of him from another universe. I'm here because we need your help.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
Across the multiverse, I've seen thousands of Evelyns. You can access all of their memories, their emotions, even their skills. There's a great evil spreading throughout the many verses. And you may be your only chance of stopping it.
Don't make me fight you. I am really good.
I don't believe you.
Wow, that was really good.
He's waiting in the wings.
The universe.
He speaks of senseless things.
Is so much bigger
Script is you and
than you realize.
Of all the places I could be, I just wanted to share with you.
Remember our mission concerning the fate of every single world of our infinite multiverse.
There is no way I am the Evelyn you are looking for.
Every rejection, every disappointment has led you here. To this moment. Don't let anything distract you from it.
I really did.
Curveball.
I love this movie, and it's funny because like I enjoyed Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. I think that was a fun movie. It's not the greatest movie by far, and then this movie fucking comes out and does the multiverse better than anything I've ever seen, and it was wonderful, and it had a great story. The cast was amazing. I had to get Jamie Lee Curtis on the list at some point, so I figured I'm going to move Halloween Ends off and put Everything Everywhere
It
All
was
at
going to
Once.
be your number 2?
No.
Oh.
So, no way. It would have been barely a 10. Just burn the table. But I think this movie, excuse me, was it was gorgeous. It was fun. I enjoyed every minute of it. It's long, and I didn't feel like it was long.
Yeah,
like I could have had a little bit more.
It's so
good.
I saw it in theaters. I cried. I mean, I cried everything, but still, it was good.
Cried in this whole top 10.
It's so good. And my number 1 we've already talked about, but it's Banshees.
If I've done something to you, just tell me what I've done to you.
I just don't like you no more.
Have you been rowing?
Have you been rowing?
Have we been rowing? Well, you are rowing. It does look like we're rowing.
You can't just stop being friends with a fella.
He's dull, Siobhan.
But he's always been dull.
Maybe this whole thing has just been about getting you to stand up for yourself.
How are you, fatty? Dancing with your dog, is it?
What did you come here for?
I just came to kick your door in and give you a slagging.
Why aren't you talking to Porrig no more?
That wouldn't be a sin now, would it, Father?
No,
But it's not very nice either, is it?
What I've decided to do is this. I have a set of shears at home, and each time you bother me, I'll take one of my fingers off with them. Starting from now.
But shush like, Polly. You know, shush like.
Yeah, I'd shush like.
It's about one boring man leaving another man alone.
One boring man. You're all fucking boring.
Let's just call it quits.
We won't call it quits. We'll call it the start.
Banshees is the best movie I've ever seen. It's so good. In Bruges was the best movie I saw that year, and then these two, and then they come back and just knock it right out of the fucking park. Plus, add Barry Keoghan, plus that girl that's in it. I don't know her name, and she's just it's just fucking
like
so good. I watched it, and guess what? I cried, and I just, I literally. I loved every aspect about it. It just reminded me so much of myself and my relationships, and it just all the Irishness in it and everything, and it's endlessly rewatchable. It's just such a
Carrie Condon.
And it's such a feel-good movie without being a feel-good movie because you care so much about both of these characters, and he's like, I'm gonna chop my fingers off, but I'm gonna make music, and
right? Isn't that like the bigger? Like, I know Glass Onion was great. It was on my honorable mentions. It was so close to being on the list. I really enjoyed that movie. But this was the bigger mystery movie.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is he so bad at his friend? Why doesn't he want to be friends?
Well, he said because
because that was his reason.
He didn't want
I
to
just don't
waste
wanna be
his
friends.
life
Being
drinking
yelled
in a
at
pub
for being
and-
20 minutes late.
He's like, I don't want to waste my life drinking in a pub. So what I'm going to do is end my friendship, and then I'm going to continue to drink at a
in the
pub.
but talk to other people instead of you.
Well, that's right, and then that's why it's like, come on.
I think Colin Farrell is super underrated. I think he gets miscast a lot, but there's some stuff he really shines through in.
And he was amazing in this movie.
The guy Ritchie puts him in, he's really good.
Fucking that where he played the coach. Yeah.
And
I
I
loved his character.
That's a
in that
terrible movie. He's excellent.
I
in it.
didn't hate it. I thought it's not the
okay.
best Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
But I found myself rewatching it again. I'm like, okay, this is a fun movie. His character coach was fantastic.
Right.
I thought he could have been in it a little bit more. I love The Lobster. I love everything that
he's
fucking Colin Farrell does.
so
Do you ever
good.
see Tigerland?
No.
Oh, watch Tigerland. It's one of his earlier movies.
Tell me what to do.
Okay.
I'm just
never
kidding.
mind.
I'm kidding. Of course I will.
Fuck off.
Maybe I have seen Tigerland.
It's like a he's like in
Bruce
the army.
Willis in it?
No. No, that was Heart's War.
Wait. Nicolas Cage? No, that's
No.
Talkers.
No one else that I think you would recognize. Well,
might
you
have
may
seen
recognize people, but it's nothing, no big names.
Okay.
It was just like Colin Farrell and then
Yeah, Colin Farrell always kills it, and I just think that Banshees is just one of the best movies of the year. It
Definitely
just,
good.
Once again, super bummed I didn't go to the theater to see it. It was on my to-do list, but then time got away from me. I think it was around the holidays, and then immediately showed up on HBO
They do
Max.
just stack all the shit at the end of the year. And it's like,
it's just hard. But I think that would have been one I really liked in the theater. I hope at one point, like maybe when they announce the awards stuff, they put it back in, and I'm going to try and see at least Decision to Leave and Banshees in the theater to make me love them even more.
Did Decision to Leave ever actually make it to the theaters
Yeah,
here?
it was at Harkins for a week.
Oh.
And I missed it. So
Scottsdale and one.
No. It was over at Super Springs. So. All right, guys.
There you have
that is our 2022 film countdown.
Do you want to hear some honorable mentions that I threw there?
I do, and I have some as well.
So I put The Menu. It's because I think it's because I saw it so late. But it is a good movie. It's fun. I enjoyed it. It is not as twisty as you think it is based off the trailers.
Correct.
It's kind of straightforward. You understand why he's doing what he's doing, and then the twist comes in how the characters became at the tables that they're at, and especially with Anya Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult and stuff like that. Top Gun definitely made my honorable mentions. I don't think it was like Violent Night and Maverick were like my two. Just I had a great time, had fun situations. Like the content maybe not the greatest sometimes, or they may not make anybody else's top 10s, but I felt like I had a great time. Like Megan, I had fun watching that movie. It's not great. It probably sucks.
Correct.
I had a great time.
Exactly. It's exactly how I feel.
The Batman, just because I love that movie. Prey, surprisingly, was a good entrance to the Predator movies.
That's a helicopter.
Yeah, it's the Koreans finally invading. I think the Black Phone gets kind of lost in people's conversations. I think that was actually really good.
Yeah, Black Phone was awesome.
X was on there. RRR, which is the Hindi movie that was on Netflix. Oh, fucking 3 hours, and it's fun as shit. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I think it was
tried to
really
find that.
fun.
I couldn't watch it. Well,
You couldn't find Bodies, Bodies,
no,
Bodies?
RR.
Oh, I thought it was
I
on
was like,
It's on
because people
Netflix.
were talking about it.
It's on
It
Netflix.
wasn't on Netflix because
It's
I
on-
went and searched it.
That's
And it
where I watched it
recently.
like 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
yes.
because I was gonna say I looked it up like last week and it didn't show up.
It's there.
I got a bunch of like different Bollywood movies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's on there, then it didn't give it to me.
It is. You have that filter. I don't like Indians.
We're racist on the show too.
Right. You got that Trump plug-in. No,
Well, of
no
course.
one brown can be on his TV. Doesn't have the 4Ks. And then, oddly enough, this is on an honorable mention for me, just because I had so much fun watching this more than I thought I would.
Hold on.
It's
right
the first,
there.
It's the first movie.
It's the first one.
Dude, I went and
Did
I
you spell it
searched
with 3 R's?
because I looked on like my other websites and it wasn't on there. So I went to
on
Netflix,
Netflix.
and I put it in and it come up in the little side feature that it was like, yeah, we know what you're talking about, but it's not here. And it
That's so
wasn't
weird.
Yeah.
Anyway. And this one is kind of out of left field. I had a great time watching this movie, especially with the kids. I still laugh at it. Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. I did not expect to like that movie as much as I did, and I thought it was a fun little movie. It's not a top 10 for me, but it's definitely something I think people should watch.
I put Nope on my honorable mentions.
I did not like that movie.
That's fine. I really like that movie.
I like the
Everyone else
I like
did
the
too.
monkey part. But
We know. we know what you like.
Dirty ape.
But you pretty much hit everything else that I had honorably mentioned.
Yeah,
so.
I had everything kind of as I was pushing movies up into my top 10. The ones that kind of got pushed off was Bullet Train. I mean, super fun movie.
It's fun.
Brad Pitt. I mean, it's a fun movie to watch. Weird. The Al Yankovic story.
That is, yeah.
Those
That
aren't honorable mention. These are just
really
movies you saw.
What's that?
You didn't see a lot. Something's got to
That's true,
filter into
that's
the
true.
honorable
Yeah.
mentions.
The Northman. I enjoyed it. Long. Didn't crack top 10.
Did you guys watch
Violent Night?
Mad God?
No, I wanted
That
to.
was a
Phil Tippett
that
movie?
Was maybe, I don't know. You mean as the yep.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely watch that. That almost made it into my top 10. I just couldn't put it in there because it was like an ensemble thing, and some things work better than others do in that movie. Trolls reboot? No, I'm just kidding.
You know
I
what?
was
You know
gonna
what movie
say-
I see on my list that I watched that it didn't get any discussion, but it's getting discussion for like Oscar pictures is Elvis.
No,
I don't understand.
That movie sucked.
Did not
I don't
like that
understand though, like why it's
Austin
getting.
Butler was good.
It's being talked about
The-
for like Best Picture.
The
I'm like,
end.
you got to be kidding
It's
me.
not going to win Best Picture.
I'm actually at a point now where I don't like Tom Hanks. Like I'm kind of tired of him.
I do want to see the movie he's coming out with that Auto.
The Auto where he's like an asshole.
Yeah, I'm kind of into that.
Like, yeah, but it'll just be Tom Hanks being an asshole. Just Tom Hanks.
Being
Greyhound
Clint Eastwood.
sucked. Pinocchio sucked. I didn't like him in Elvis. Like, he's just... It's too much Tom Hanks, I think, for me.
And I watched this in 2023, but it is a 2022 film. Something in the Dirt.
It's on my list.
Benson and Moorhead, fucking trippy buddy cop. It's not a buddy cop. They're not cops, but just buddy movie where like they find a phenomena and then they kind of try to make a documentary about it. And it's almost like Banshees in a sense. And it would have made my list had I watched it in 2022. So,
is that how we're doing it? Because it was a 2022 release.
Yeah, that one you had to have watched in 2022.
Yeah, I know. I just found it. So, anyways,
the ever-changing rules.
I am not changing anything. Anyways, so if you guys like this, we'll do more of this. We're coming back at you with a snack show. We got a plethora of snacks that exist in the zeitgeist of the pantheon of our table. I did it on purpose.
Hurt my arm just to prove a point.
So I hope you guys enjoyed our top 10. If you have any disagreements or you want to have a conversation, you can always hit us up on watchitlaterpodcast@gmail.com or, I don't know, Instagram. And if you're coming over from
Hit us on the
It's Eric
socials.
Nagel or Pure Cinema or whatever, this is not a normal show. So if you're like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit. Just
Thanks for listening.
Right.
go listen to something else. another one of our shows, and that will be. But you can always criticize us at Watch It. And also, I haven't
Don't
been
choose the
hitting
one
this,
where we're
but
driving from California.
I need to. No, that was a good one.
I like that show.
Me
It was
too.
fun.
I've listened to it several times. Go on iTunes and rate us. We have one rating that's pretty good, and then we have one rating that's really bad. And I like the bad ratings. So
yeah? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's like
I wrote it a long time ago. It was hard to
0.5 or something like that.
Probably listen to the California show.
Anyways, yeah. So please either rate us, whatever you feel like rating us on iTunes. Just any little bit helps or doesn't help. I don't really care because we do this for the funds. All right, I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
And Scott.
Big gulps, huh? Well, see you in 2023.
We're in 2023.
Yeah, I know we are.
But we recorded in 2023. Or we watched it in 2022.
But we recorded in 2022.
All right. Well, see you later.
Anyways, goodbye.